In today's video, I really want to emphasize an idea that has, ever since I learned about it, been one of those profound archetypes that drives home a profound lesson and process that, in a way, one must often return to again and again because the lesson just gets deeper and deeper. So it's really nice just to have like a simple way to encapsulate it, almost like a mantra or like a koan that is not meant to just be like, okay, I got it, and then move on, but something that takes you deeper, and then you come up against some more challenges and lessons in life, and then you encounter it again, and then it takes you even deeper, and it just has that fractal effect. And that is uh, the idea and the concept of loyal soldiers. I can't remember who actually coined this. If you do, go ahead and let me know below in a message comment. Gosh, I feel like I could if I did some digging, but um, it's basically taking a real story from, I believe it was World War II, and then making it into this concept that can be applied to therapy and to self work and to compassion work and to understanding how to evolve beyond our traumas and our suffering. And the real story is basically that there was a period of time after the war had actually officially ended when there were some soldiers, Japanese soldiers, who were deep in the jungle on an island and out of communication, away from um, a way of knowing that the war had ended, and they literally continued to serve their duty as soldiers, and for quite a long period of time. Like I believe it may have been as much as 2 years after, and maybe it wasn't that long, but the idea was that it was quite a while. And um, so you could say like it really was not a response that was necessary anymore, but they didn't know better, and they were loyal to the duty that they were serving. And so when they did finally come home and get off the plane and reunite with their communities and their families, uh, they were celebrated just as they would have been had they come home on time, instead of, shamed or sort of like, why didn't you come home sooner? There was a recognition for their loyalty and their hard work. And this uh, was then applied later as a concept for therapy, as a concept for um, how we can hold ourselves through our own growth and transformation, as a way of seeing our trauma responses, as a way of seeing our coping strategies, our blocks, our patterns that are not serving us anymore as loyal soldiers. And as, yeah, as, having that benevolent celebration of the duty that they've served us, even though their service is no longer necessary. Um, and this way of holding gratitude and compassion towards those parts of ourselves that were wisely doing a duty to protect us or to protect someone else or to create safety or to avoid pain in some way, um, it can then help us to actually find that edge where compassion and courage meet, where the um, the fortitude and the readiness to move forward and let go of the the coping strategy can also be met with the compassion and the softness and the appreciation and the harvest of the job that that loyal soldier was doing for us. And this really allows that part of ourselves to have a completion moment, to have a moment of integration. And from a somatic perspective, this is especially important not to just bypass in our mind, um, but to have that moment of like truly feeling the truly feeling where that thing, that coping strategy is living in our energy, in our the way that our nervous system is functioning, our whole system, like an ecosystem. And this certain thing has been playing a certain part. And when we fully thank it, it can then actually, like, of its own volition, like, let go and find another job, right? Like, find a better job. Um, yeah, I'm thinking about that today just because of being inspired in another client session today, seeing the beautiful way in which every time that we would approach a fear that would arise, there was just an invitation to soften toward it, not blow past it, not make it wrong, but just kind of ask it what it needed. And almost always there was just this super wise, immediate response of a certain like shift in position or a closing of a curtain or a garment or a changing of like putting a hood on or some kind of just way that listening so deeply to oneself, one's soma, one's psychosomatic is really why I was tripping over the word because it's really the whole soul, psycho, soma being in conversation. And then like no longer having that thing, sort of that fear or that lack of boundary or that anxiety or whatever was going unaddressed, sort of over here draining the attention because it was attended to. Um, it was given that moment of asking it uh, to letting it know, to carry on the metaphor, letting it know that the war is over and what do you need to like let down your guard? What can I do consciously right now that would help that happen? And so I suppose really the lesson that I want to relay right now, and in a further video, I can take this further into actually the work of somatic alchemy that I do, which is it's literally the transformation of those wounds, the pain, the suffering, the trauma, the challenge, the symptomology, and actually not just moving past it, but actually leaning into it as a transformative alchemical process that leads then to like literally the suffering becomes a portal into pleasure, into gifts, into vitality, into like a fresh and new, the new job of the loyal soldier. What will it be now? If it's not a soldier, that loyalty is what we really can harness. We can maintain that relationship with our autonomic nervous system while changing and updating the job that it's doing, if that job is no longer relevant to living our life now. So that's but so more at a future time about sort of somatic alchemy and the full process, but this concept is like just a really good starting point as an attitude or a posture that we can hold for our towards ourselves and towards the parts of ourselves that are angry, sad, in shock, frozen, sluggish, you know, procrastinating, bitter, resentful, vengeful, depressed, anxious, scared, um, and all of the other things. Um, oh shoot. I apologize for the sound in the background there, but I'm just about done with the video anyway. So, um, yeah, here's to all of our loyal soldiers and to thanking them for their service and continuing in a relationship with them of loyalty and appreciation while moving forward into the courage of giving them a new job.